Okay, so let's have a look at ways we can cope better with stress. So first of all, research actually suggests that optimists cope with stress in more adaptive ways than pessimists. Let's delve into that a little bit more. Why is that the case? Why is research actually identifying that? So when we think about optimists, we often find that optimists are action-orientated. They have goals and they work towards achieving those goals. If something comes up, they have problem-focused solutions. They identify the problem, but they look at, okay, how can we fix that? Often with optimists, they tend to go and seek social support that they need. If they need support because something's getting to them or they're not achieving what they set out to do, then they will go and seek the social support that will help them to achieve their goals. And often with optimists, look, they'll identify the positives within stressful situations. Right? So even though they might be going through a stressful situation, they'll see the positives. You know, they can just naturally identify how things can still have a positive lilt to it. So when we think about then the pessimists, right, unfortunately they tend to deal with stress by giving up. They'll just walk away. It gets too much, they just can't do it. Or they engage in denial. Right? And have you seen that in some people where something happens and they'll just keep denying that situation's happened, hoping that it'll go away? And when you think about students and the two variables here, wouldn't it be better to have a more optimistic approach to your study? Right? Action-focused. Look for the goal. Look for what it is you want to get to achieve by the end. Right? Work towards it. If there's a problem arises, let's have a look at how we can positively change that problem to find a solution. You can seek support through lecturers, through the different agencies that are available through university. Right? And also find the positive in every situation. Because if you look at study from a negative or a pessimistic approach, then if your assignments aren't getting done, if things are overwhelming you, you'll walk away. You'll just give up. Right? So this is what we're wanting to look at, how we can change into this optimistic approach and change the way that we deal with life. So let's have a look at some of the strategies, some of the stress reductions that we can do. So simply you can reduce your stress through relaxation, through meditation. And really it only takes 5 to 10 minutes each day of just allowing yourself time to relax. And that will make a huge difference to yourself. The other one is through physical activity. And we talked about health earlier in this whole course and how important it is to really acknowledge your health through the types of food you're eating, through physical activity and through good sleep. Right? So these here, another stress reduction that you can do is through physical activity. Yeah? Set yourself up so you are doing some form of exercise, half-hour walk, attending a boot camp, going to the gym, going swimming, right? Something that's going to help you to reduce your stress. Also think about your environment. You know, what is there out in your environment that could be a stressor, causing you to feel more stressed? Right? If it's anything to do with study, find yourself a spot away from your family where you can just sit and study. So what are these stressors that are inhibiting you from studying, that are pulling you away? So plan your environment better. If it's time management, right, what strategies can you put into place to better manage your time so that you're not setting yourself up for stress? Relabeling your thoughts, right? Thinking about how your thoughts are playing a real part in your stress and relabel them. Change your thinking processes. And this brings in the thought stopping with your ants, right? All those automatic negative thoughts and changing them to pots. That's what we're looking at here. Stop that negative thinking, that what's going on in your mind, that ABC. Let's change that belief, that thinking process, and change the consequence. Right? So there's some of the key strategies that you can use to help yourself reduce your stress. So something I want to raise here is a model that's been raised by both Dr. Timothy Sharp, but also came from Dr. Barbara Fredrickson. Now, through her research as a positive psychologist, she actually has found that she calls this a 3-to-1 ratio. She says for every negative, you need to experience 3 positive emotions, right? So it's a 3-to-1 ratio. So ideally, you should be experiencing 3 positives to every negative, right? And you can see this through your thought processes, through actual life, and this is where the gratitude, and we've talked about that in the past too, where gratitude comes into play. Actually being able to identify the things that are out there that you can be grateful for, to have that grateful mindset. So that's another model, the 3-to-1 ratio. So when something negative happens, pull yourself up and actually acknowledge 3 good things that have happened in the day.